Remember when I got the very first prototype of this one, I said when I got a full production version, I'd get you a full video? Well, guess what, baby? Today's the day. Or, if you missed it the first time around, this is your first time seeing it. Hi everybody, my name's Josh. Welcome to Bish's RV. This is the 30 BHS Cougar. This is the model. The most obvious way to describe it is a bunkhouse, certainly, but it is a multi-function cargo bunkhouse that actually has a couples camping floor plan with some bunks added to the back, but the bottom bunk can flip up and move bunk, get out the way, and create a big cargo space. And I think that could be really cool. Not even if you're just hauling a family, but what if you're like, listen, I don't want to haul my expensive cargo recumbent bikes or e-bikes or something outside the RV. This is an RV that might work for your family right now, but as your needs change and maybe the kids grow up and move on, like if you've got teenagers, this could be an awesome option right now that you don't need to reinvest in and get a different camper later on. It's one RV that can serve multiple different purposes. Also, if you flat out don't like the bunks in the back, they make a version of that too. But what are we looking at here? We've got hot, cold camp ratings, a warranty with allowances for full-time RVing, which is very rare in travel trailers, factory standard solar on a walkable roof with a ladder, hot, I already said, did I? 0 to 110 degree rated. If I didn't, I don't know. Anyway, this also has something I fail to talk about way too often. It's called hyper deck flooring. You hear a lot about Asdel RVs using composite paneling in the walls, but they're very often still using wood paneling in the floor. Ironically, Cougar is the opposite. They use composite stuff in the floor, but they still use wood paneling in the sidewalls. So, I don't know, whichever one works for you. We got a little something of everything here at Bish's RV for you. But previously we only saw the prototype, and for the most part, it's a pretty good match for this. There are a couple little, refinements and touch-ups, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about this one, as well as what additional little adjustments could they make to improve it moving forward. And if you appreciate the fair way we go about things, telling you the good with the bad as we go, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get started. So starting from our entry door over there at the back of the RV looking forward, this may look a little bit familiar to you. Like I said, this is the same living room, bathroom, and bedroom, exact same as a Cougar 25 RDS, more couples camping oriented variety with no dedicated bunks on the back. Just like that one over here in the slide, straight across from the door and the entertainment center, you can outfit this with either a theater seat or a trifold sleeper sofa. The sleeper sofa actually being the standard, the the trifold theater seat that we're looking at would be, I'm sitting, my brain is like boiling in my head right now. It's hot outside, but it's not freezing and it's not raining, so I'm really not complaining. What I'm getting at is I wish I was plugged in so I could run that nice air conditioner. Anyway, what I was getting at here is where this one changes is actually what happens behind the dining area, and obviously with that little mini staircase somewhat cutting into that rear dinette to give you access to all of that up there. That is what you're getting on this one. What's cool about this? It's a bunk model that doesn't really feel like a bunkhouse. It has this big, wide, open, expansive feeling like, and here's the thing, if you're not using the bunks, you're not wasting that space. There's different ways you could repurpose this. And since those are big bunks, and pardon me, they are rated for, they're 300-pound rated. So, you could sleep an adult on there or a couple kids, something like that. And you see how there's household and USB outlets for both beds. The top ones are all the way up against the ceiling by that window. The bottom ones are obviously down there by the wall. And what's interesting is Cougars do have a laminated rear wall, but they have it over the top of a non-laminated rear wall. They actually have a double rear wall construction, which is highly unusual. But what it lets them do is actually run power outlets and wiring through that rear wall. Now, this is your point of view from the theater seat or sofa, whichever one you decide to pick, the hide-a-bed or the theater. Bang, there, finally nailed it. First try. We've got the electric space heat and bunion burner over there. Standard issue fare on this one. You also see the larger 22-inch oven, not the smaller easy bake oven that some other brands tend to have. And there's nothing wrong with that. Cougar just places a bigger emphasis on the kitchen. Power outlets in the kitchen. You might notice over there, there's one set in a perfect little coffee maker corner. They're not under the overhead cabinets, all of which are pocket screwed, by the way, with hidden hinges and hardwood cabinet doors. With lumber core styles and rails. I don't know if you know what all that means. If you're not sure, leave me a comment. The other thing I want to point out on this one is the window coverage on it. You might notice from the outside, no one big specific window, but when you're actually sitting here, you have amazing views all the way around this living room, whether it's sitting from the theater seat, whether you're standing at the kitchen, whether it's the door side, whether it's the camp side. you have excellent views and visibility all the way around this thing. Now, this is an interesting feature on this floor plan. Since they had to kind of chop off part of the bunk, they included this little floating footrest right here to act as something on the other side of the dinette. So the question is, it looks like it sits a little low. How does it actually look on an adult?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Just to show you how it would fit an adult, I thought I'd give you a little bit of an approach here. Now, you may have noticed it didn't just look like it sat a little lower than the rest of the bench. It was sitting lower. This does have a nice little padded top. I'm not telling you this is super comfy, but it feels better than the wooden bleachers that you sat on in high school at the pep rally assemblies that nobody liked. You guys ever have the high on lifers kind? We're high on life. Woo! And you're like, man, I don't do drugs, but I might start doing them just in spite of you guys. Sorry, that's just a little tidbit of my life. Anyway, what I'm getting at is, yes, this does sit a little bit lower. It's not bad. But this RV comes with a bonus cushion right here. Part of this thing's job is to cover the table space for sleeping. The other thing you can do with it, though, is shove it under your backside, puff this sucker up like Puff the Dragon. Ooh, this is much better than that old wooden pep rally bench. And basically, you can create a level playing field here so you can, take the kids on during Monopoly night. And really, I think you can actually fit more people around this dinette than a lot of other common dinettes because you're getting a front side seat as well. Less elbow fighting space, you know what I mean? The other thing here is there's nothing that says that little bench has to hang out right there. And where that's especially handy is if you don't get the theater seat option, if you have the standard trifold sleeper sofa, you still have a way to potentially kick your feet up with something that's already included with the RV, with something that you don't have to worry about trying to store in an alternate location. So given that information, would you rather have the theater seat that we're looking at today or the trifold sleeper sofa? Either way, you still get that little floating bench ottoman here. Now, that TV we saw is on Boardwalk and Park Place, straight across from the sofas. For better entertainment, I do think the theater seat's still a good option, because when you kick your feet out, you do kind of recline down a little bit. But take a look at this. Look at the entry door right about meow. You see how there is a full viewing window there, but with a privacy shade. You folks are the ones that accomplish that. And you see how this has that cargo bunkhouse function in the back here. But as I said, the dinette can fold down into a sleeper, which is pretty awesome. Now, it's not 8 foot wide like the 25 couples camping model, but it's also not bad. And you do see big time storage below that. Additionally, obviously, with the theater seat or the hide-a-bed, you have some variety of open-up function over here. That that floating bench we saw is also storage. Today, we're looking at the 12-volt DC compressor fridge. You do have a gas-electric 8 cubic foot two-way option, so it's about 25% smaller. It doesn't cool as fast, but it does have an automatic backup, and it uses less power when on battery mode as compared to, the 12-volt fridge. So if you're boondocking or park camping, which fridge you want might work a little bit better. Also, you might want to also factor in the different solar packages that are available with Cougar RVs. Because, you can get a bigger solar package and easily offset that 12-volt fridge depending on where you're going to camp, how you're going to camp, all that good stuff. Now, I realized I got distracted earlier. I started talking about kitchen outlets. I never got myself over to these outlets over here. Now, where you see the yellow sticker on those are prepped into the inverter run of the RV. So those could, if you add an inverter to this RV, or if you get the 2 more advanced solar packages, you could theoretically run those right off battery power, which is cool. Now, one of the other things that's neat is this RV has in command, and this can do a ton of things. These are those smart control systems. Like if you want to turn all the lights off and on right here, you can. But what if you don't want to have to go digital with this? What if you don't want to have to Bluetooth to your phone or whatever? What's nice is they still just give us a switch. Now, just beyond that, we've got a sliding pocket privacy door up here into a pass-through bathroom. Now, the reason that Cougar does this is this RV with the bunks tacked onto the back, it already has a pretty decent length about it. The pass-through bathroom allows you to enjoy a large bathroom that actually is shorter overall on the floor plan. Cougar's vaulted ceiling here also is very nice because you get yourself some excellent headroom up in here, which is just fantastic. You can see I'm like kind of tiptoe bunny hopping in there and not smashing my head. And you've got yourself a little Mastodon towel club over here, giving you a perfect little place to hold your towels. Or my D&D friends will recognize those as mind flayers. But, you know, that's the nerd in me talking here. I realized, oops, sorry, let me back up a little bit. I kind of panned over this very quickly. Let me open this up over here. There's decent storage space in this bathroom, more than you might think. Now, it's not massive, but I do think that there is enough space in there for towels, for toiletries, for maybe a trash can. Getting that stuff out of the way, because I did go with a little bit bigger shower over here, which is kind of nice. Another sliding privacy door, and let's kind of start from the top and work our way down. This is always going to be a 50 amp coach. We're looking at the single 15,000 BTU centralized air conditioning version of it today. Dual air from the factory is available, or we could certainly apply it for you. This entry door over here is going to be very important when it comes to traveling access. For now, though, I do want to point out that at least you're not putting on a free show for the neighbors. You do at least have a privacy shade, unless, well, I mean, maybe you're one of the pineapple pals, and that's your thing, and hey, no judgment. You do you, and everybody camps differently. 70 by 80 king bed standard in here, and again, I'm not using a wide-angle lens that would make this much, much easier. And I want to acknowledge something. I don't know that I can rightly call this a true walk-around bed because this side stand goes out so deep. And someone's going to go, but why though? Basically, because there's stuff in there. And they couldn't put the stuff somewhere else. So, now it's in our way. We can't walk around the bed. And now you know, and as we learned from G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle. So, both sides of the bed have those nice little stands, USB plugs, headboard plugs. Those headboard plugs have those inverter prepped little sticker indicator outlets. And no struts on the overhead cabinets, but let me reach up here. Let me get one of them open for you, just so you can kind of get an idea for how deep it is. Let me give you just a little bit of an angle peek there. Over here, let's crack open that side wardrobe closet. Just give you kind of a look. You've already sort of seen one. Why not see the other? But also, the big easy lift, totally separated storage chest space under the bed right there. And that leads us back to dough. All right, now for Ramblin' Gamblin' Travelin' Road Mode. We are going to invoke Nerdism number 37, which is two-stage travel access. That's something that I've kind of started phrasing this year. What that means to me is you can access essentially everything in this RV, but you need to use both entry doors to do it. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. For some people that works, and for some it doesn't. You see how the table and that little floating ottoman bench right there, they actually kind of strap down in place in transit. And just to give you kind of a sense from the inside of how much space we're talking here, here's that slide when it's all closed up. Now, just like the non-Bunkhouse 25 RDS, you're cutting off the bedroom and the bathroom. It's not a straight walk-through camper. It's two-stage access, like I mentioned. But with the other entry door, we can get to everything. But from this door, if you got to put the kids down for the night, put the kids down. That sounds like something, I got to send my kids to the vet. I got to put them down. Although I know a couple times my parents definitely want to do that with me and my brother. My point is, if I ever have a point, that is, if you want to fully access the RV, you need to use the other door over here. Up here first into our king bedroom, and then just around the corner to that what would normally be a walk-through middle bathroom. So like I said, you can get to everything, but you got to go in and out the doors. For some people that works, for some it doesn't. All I'm going to do is give you the information so you could decide which one best fits you. Now outside here, I actually want to begin with one of the things that I consider a signature calling card of the Cougar family of RVs. That is the automatic leveling system here that you find even on their travel trailers. That is such a rare find. Squirrel. Sorry, I saw something. What? Obviously, I don't edit my videos a lot, and I'm kind of doing it live. I'm very surprised by the fact that we have two sewer outlets right next to one another like this when you have a forward kitchen and a bathroom next to it. I'm shocked to see this. I'm not quite understanding why it wasn't plumbed together. I would like to think that is an oversight that in future generations might be changed, but there may be an engineering reason for it that I don't fully understand. Sorry. I see something, I say something. That's kind of one of my best qualities and my worst qualities all wrapped into one. Anyway, squirrel, back to auto leveling. That's a big thing that Cougar does even on their travel trailers. Kind of like their allowances for full-time RVing in a travel trailer that most brands simply do not offer. Those are big RV features that you're getting here in this package. You know, those are virtually, sometimes you could consider fifth wheel features, although it's certainly not to say no other travel trailers ever had auto leveling. Anyway, there's also the 0 to 110 degree temperature testing and proving that all the Cougar models go through that I think is very cool. That starts with a radiant barrier up on a polar white roof membrane. And actually, let me give you a peek up there while we're pointing that direction. You see that white AC shroud allowing the air to operate efficiently, and you've got a factory standard minimum 200 watt solar package with more advanced packages also available. That radiant barrier wraps down the nose through the underbelly. The underbelly is forced air heated. Every single holding tank has a forced air heat dump directly onto it. So there's like 4 or 5 different forced air heat pump points into the underbelly. And every single holding tank has its own 12 volt holding tank heating pad. So these have the exact same weather package that a big bad fifth wheel has wrapped up into a 7,100 pound travel trailer. Now, let's circle in on that conversation. This is confusing to a lot of people, and I understand why. There's safety on the line, so I'm going to take some time to explain this. The name of this RV is the Cougar Half Ton. I love this brand. It's become a personal favorite that I respect very much. But the inclusion of the name Half Ton on there, a lot of people think, oh, my half ton can handle it. Maybe. Half ton towability varies from truck to truck and region to region. That's a really important factor that a lot of people fail to consider for half ton towability. Where are you going to take it? In flatland, southern Michigan, around here, half ton towable can mean a pretty big RV because we are flat, we are not windy around here. But let's say you're going across the plain states where they live with 40 mile an hour winds every day, and that's not a gust, that's just the steady wind basically. Or let's say you're going through the more mountainous areas. Half-ton towable suddenly doesn't mean the same thing. So we need to know the capacities of your truck, where you live, and where are you going to take it. And I'm running into the RV behind me over here. We are parked in today. That is my fault. Anyway, so I just kind of want to get that out of the way. I think 3/4 ton is a good general recommendation for this, though. Did you notice the power awning nicely covers both entry doors? So on a rainy day, you put a picnic table in the middle of it, and you can still kind of slide in and out as you please. Now over here, we've got a slide-out capital grille that you could also just use as stainless steel, almost like prep top space, although you could also easily remove that. You could even remove the fridge and just have cargo space if you wanted, but that would be an aftermarket, personal choice and decision. That's not a factory option to remove that. You do also have a hot-cold outside utility shower here, and in the, I think I glossed right past it, the docking station over on the front driver's side corner, there's also a hot-cold outside utility shower over there, along with a portable solar prep plug that can work in addition to any of the 3 different factory solar packages that you are available on this one as well. 250-pound rated ladder gets you up to that walkable roof. And we're getting and instead of or. We're getting a bumper and a 2-inch receiver hitch instead of a bumper or a 2-inch receiver hitch, which is very often what you find from a lot of different brands. Now, as you may have noticed from what I call our floor plan in a flash, you've got some serious junk in the trunk cargo space back here. And for me, it's like this has a lot of nice features. The factory standard solar is nice. The hyperdeck flooring is nice. I am very much a function over fashion person. All the neat widgets and whiz-bangs in the world don't matter if the floor plan's not right for me. And I am a person, whether I need it or not, I love having flexible options and choices available to me in an RV, and that is exactly what this offers right here. So we've got this cargo space all the way under the rear bunk, and you see the aluminum skeleton work even back here, but you've also got this deadbolting cargo door over here with that flip up bunk, and that thing can move. Bunk, get out the way. And you know what I kind of thought about this? This may also be easily able to be converted over into some level of office space. Like this might seem weird. It may be like a step down office space, But if you took this out, this platform out, which is only a couple screws on that bracket, there's 6 screws holding this in place, and then you could pull it out if you wanted to. You could repurpose that as a desk. You could have a chair here with your legs going under it. And yes, you're stepping up and down to get to it, but in a sense, it has its own built-in desk. Or you know what might be very cool right there? You could turn that into a little gamer station. For some reason, for business applications, setting a computer up down there feels dumb. But you want to set me up with a gamer computer in my own little personal bat cave? Oh, shut up and take my money. So you've heard enough from me. Unless you put this video on mute, in which case you've turned me into a silent movie actor, and then you probably haven't heard very much from me, but that's okay. What I would like to do is I'd like to hear from you. What do you think about this one? Now, I'm going to leave you some links in the video description. There's going to be a link to check for pricing and availability at all of our Bish's stores. There's also going to be a link to a similar floor plan from Grand Design, as well as a link to the no bunk version of this from Cougar. Love it if you check those out. Let me know what you like and dislike on any or all of them, whatever works for you. And if you appreciate the way that we give you fair information, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And remember that we don't do hidden dealer fees. We just do everything else. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.